Over the last couple years, there's been one company that's really been making a name for themselves in the marine detailing industry. From their ceramic coatings to their boat wash products and second-to-none compounds. Y'all, I'm talking about no other than Starke Yacht Care. And today, I'm going to use nothing but Starke Yacht Care products to detail this incredible 25-foot Carolina Bay. Let's get after it. All right, y'all, so I'm really excited today to be able to share these products with you. First up, we need to get the boat washed. It's not particularly old, it's a 2023, but still, first up is their Salt Clean, and it's a salt removal concentrate. So you just hook it up to your hose, and it mixes it at 100-to-1 dilution ratio. You just go ahead and spray it on your boat, and it helps you remove the salt. We're gonna spray that over the entire boat and go ahead and rinse that off. We'll be following that up with a contact wash with Pure Clean. And Pure Clean is their pH neutral boat shampoo. And so we're gonna be using this in our bucket. We could also use it in a foam cannon and foam down the outside of the boat as well. But today we're just gonna use this as a contact wash to follow up the Salt Clean. Starke also has a product called Ultra Clean, and this is an SiO2-based soap concentrate. So we're actually going to be using a coating on this boat later, so we don't wanna go ahead and use an SiO2-based soap. But if we weren't, and we were just doing a maintenance wash, this would definitely be my go-to. All right, up next we have a couple specialty cleaners that can address some niche issues. First up, it is Venom, and that's their water spot and rust remover. And it does just like it says. It takes care of rust areas and definitely mineral buildup to remove the water spots. Next up, we have Simple Clean, and this is just a basic cleaner. It's gonna remove black streaks, stains, dirt rings, things of that nature. And last up, we have Mildew Clean. If you've ever detailed a boat before, you know mildew is a serious issue and very hard to deal with. This product makes light work of it and is definitely a go-to for mildew removal. All right, let's go ahead and grab our hose, and we're gonna go ahead and spray the boat down with some Salt Clean. All right, now we're gonna get our bucket ready, get our Pure Clean in there, and do a contact wash. All right, so for Pure Clean, you're supposed to mix 1/3, it's falling out. You're supposed to mix 1/3 of an ounce for every gallon of water. By the way, if there's any of these products that you'd like for your marine details or to take care of your own boat, you can get them at the Marine Detail Supply, Charleston, and use my code CD15 to save 15% on your order. So check it out, save a little money. So while I'm removing these letters, I want to take a second to thank you guys for watching this new series where I've been featuring a different product line. You guys have been amazing, and there's been a lot of input about different lines that you want me to use next. So keep them coming. I'm adding them to the list, and I'm recording them and editing them as fast as I can. So yeah, let me know. There's been a lot of great suggestions, but I want some more. Yeah, let me know. What should I use next? And do you enjoy the marine detailing? Do you like watching a little something different? Yeah, let me know that too. Almost. All right, let's get it rinsed off. All right, y'all, so back here on the transom, it's definitely gonna be dirtier. And so we're gonna attack it with a little bit of Simple Clean and Venom as needed. All right, y'all, now onto the inside of the boat. I went ahead and removed some of the interior panels. We have some mold and things like that we need to take care of behind the seat cushions. So we'll deal with that separately. That way we can get the inside of the boat behind these seats really nice and clean. All right, let's get after it. All right, y'all, so this is a great place for us to use our mildew clean. Lots of use for it here. Unfortunately, the bottle dropped and the sprayer broke. So we're gonna have to get a little creative and use it a little less traditionally, but at any rate, it'll come in handy, it'll work well. So let's get after it. So ideally, you want the mildew clean to sit on the surface and work for, anywhere from a couple minutes to 5 or 10 minutes if it's really bad. It's making it a little more difficult to apply it in that way because we don't have our sprayer, but we'll make do. All right, y'all, so we got the boat washed. It's now time to start polishing. We're gonna start off with Elevate for our first step. We're gonna use a rotary with a yellow wool pad by Buff and Shine. Let's get after it, guys. All right, y'all, so we're gonna use Elevate all the way around for our first step with the yellow wool pad. And then we're gonna finish it up still with Elevate, but this time we're gonna use our DA with a yellow foam pad. And so that's gonna provide us with a really nice finish that we can then go back and provide some HydroGuard, get about 6 months of protection, and this boat's gonna look absolutely amazing. All right, let's get back to it. All right, y'all, so we finished our first step. We made it all the way around with Elevate, with the yellow wool pad. We're now gonna go back around a second time. We're also gonna use Elevate, but this time we're just gonna use a yellow foam pad on our DA. So that should really take care of any of the pigtails, polish it out really nicely, and set us up to put on HydroGuard, which is about a 6-month coating. All right, let's get back to it, guys. this is getting an amazing result. So it just goes to show you how you can take one compound, but by using 2 different machines, 2 different types of pads, you can really get a different result. So start off with the rotary, use a medium compounder if you need to. You know, we could have gone further. We could have used Starke's compound Blaze, and I have that with me. And that's a heavier cut, but it just wasn't necessary. This is only a couple years old and was apparently taken care of decently well. So, you know, that's always good to see. All right, let's keep going. All right, y'all, so we just have one more section to polish, and I wanted to stop a minute and just talk about the compounds that I brought today. The first is the one that we're using, and it's Elevate. It's a medium cutting compound, and can be used, of course, a number of different ways. We used it with a rotary and a yellow wool pad, and then again with a DA and a yellow foam pad. So, you know, one to cut more aggressively, and then of course the latter to finish it off. Now, I brought Blaze. We did not need it. It's a newer boat, and the gel coat was still in pretty good condition. But were we to need it, Blaze is a heavier cutting compound and can remove up to 600 sanding scratches, while Elevate is in the 1,000 to 1,200 grit sanding scratch removal range. All right, let's finish off the last section. All right, guys, I finished my two-step. I'm now gonna go around and catch any trim work that I missed with a Starke purple haze pad on my Flex PXE. We're also gonna be using Elevate, and then we're gonna go up top side and then catch everything up there. All right, y'all, we finished polishing. Now we're gonna get the boat rinsed off, dried, and then ready to put on some hyper hold. Let's go. All right, y'all, we're gonna keep rinsing it off. We're also gonna dry the boat, and we're gonna use the Dreadnought Towel by Auto Fiber. Let's go. All right, y'all, so we have the boat basically done. It's just now time to add some protection. So we're gonna use Hyperhold, and this is a cream-based SiO2 polymer sealant, and it's gonna provide us with about 6 months of protection on the top end. We're gonna use my DA and apply it with a microfiber pad. And the reason we wanna use microfiber, you certainly could use like a yellow foam pad, but those tend to absorb the Hyperhold a bit much versus the microfiber. It'll allow us just to spread the Hyperhold across the hull very nice and evenly. All right, let's get after it, y'all. All right, y'all, 2 more products to talk about today before we're finished. And first is their Replenish. This is their SiO2-based spray sealant. And we're not using this today because we put Hyperhold Pro on. We put a little bit longer protection on. But this is a great option if you're not doing something like I did, or you're doing a maintenance wash on a boat that already has a ceramic coat. All right, and last but not least, we have Hydrate RTU, and this is a waterless wash. So these have really been gaining a lot of popularity in both the automotive and marine detailing scenes, and this is no exception. It's great for around the helm area, motor, glass, metal. This is a really versatile product and definitely recommended. All right, y'all, we're just finishing up, and I think it turned out really well. What about you? All right, y'all, thank you so much for watching today. It was so much fun getting to do a full marine detail with nothing but Starke Marine Care products. If there are any of these products that you would like, make sure you visit Marine Detail Supply of Charleston and be sure to use my code CD15 for 15% off your order. You pick up some great detailing supplies and save a little bit of money at the same time. All right, y'all, I've been having so much fun doing this series, and if there's a brand that you would like to see me feature, definitely let me know in the comments below. Y'all, thank you so much for watching today, and as always, we'll catch you next time.